few local Austin musicians shed some light on how they are doing during this pandemic. Starting with the first question, what is your background in the Austin music scene? Musician Felissa Taylor has turned to performing and teaching via interactive live streams in support of her business Dia de los Niños Spanish programs. She says the live stream opens up opportunities for new people to see her music and highlights her business at the same time. She tells us what she has been doing to keep going during the pandemic.
And so we had been growing and started having programs in AISD schools and started serving close to probably about 500 children a week. And with the pandemic, everything just started drying up. And so had to really shift gears. Imagine the school enrollment began to decline. And so there was less need for our services. The after-school programs at the district began to shut down. And so we moved to a virtual platform. We would do live streams for our families that we would show them once a week and have online classes available. And so that's kind of how we've managed to keep the fire burning there for the business.
She says the ways our community can support us moving forward is by nurturing the small business community to continue offering services that help others in need.
I would say after things begin to open up, to really try to nurture the small business community and make stronger. Also, being a voice for us as well.
Founder and CEO at artistic education company, Monique Dachev interviews another musician on this topic. Konstantin Alexander is an Austin-based multi-talented musician.
So what is your background in the Austin music scene or in the music scene in general?
In terms of what I do, my main bread and butter, I'd say, comes from performances. I do a lot of corporate events, a lot of weddings, a lot of stuff like that. So I perform quite a bit there. Other than that, I do sound engineering, mixing, mastering for quite a few different projects, honestly. And then, other than that, I do get hired for random setting up sound for certain places, sound text type stuff. And then beyond that, the financial stuff, I'm also currently working on a record as well. So that's pretty exciting. That's supposed to come out summer of 2021.
Konstantin explains how the pandemic has changed his way of life as a musician.
Working on my record, I realized, so obviously, as you know, since you're a musician as well, the pandemic has definitely affected in terms of live gigs. Just for obvious reasons, you can't gather groups of people. So if you can't gather groups of people, so it's not as common to hire bands. So So because of that, I will say the great things, I have had a few virtual concerts. That's something I would have never, like, as you can tell, like I have a good camera setup now, a good mic that
Yeah.
goes to my computer. And I again, I wouldn't have taken the time other than recording. I wouldn't have done this for live Zoom concerts if that wasn't a thing. So I feel like in some ways, again, the silver lining is it's really up my virtual game, I guess.
He tells us about his upcoming album entitled Out of the Darkness.
Great on the social media, so my website might be better. But if you want to check that out, I'll be updating for sure when my record's coming out. I'll be putting some clips from songs, and that's Constantine Alexander Music. And then on my website, which is kind of the center point, it's ConstantineAlexander.com.
Mhm.
With a K, no E. ConstantineAlexander.com. So I'll be updating all of those with record release dates and new songs and singles and all that stuff. So that, honestly, I would love people to just be a part of that, and hope. And yeah, I'm trying to really, it's a very close record to my heart in that it's very real and raw in terms of like what my struggles have been and stuff. So I just want to have a conversation, I guess I could say, with people about that record, and see if it connects with some people, that kind of stuff.
It's a long dark road, and I'm coming home. I gotta rest my bones, and I'm coming home. Lord, rest my soul, and I'm coming home. It's a long dark road, and I'm coming home. You truly think that it's only me? The truth is only what you see. You will find the mess you made when the wall comes down and the bullshit fades. It's a long dark road, and I'm coming home. I gotta rest my soul, and I'm coming home. Lord, rest my soul, and I'm coming home. It's a long dark road, and I'm coming home.
Local musician Doug Anthony is a talented musician, guitarist, and band member of Soul Wagon, who has taken to live stream performances. Doug Anthony tells us more.
Moved here from Corpus Christi in 1989, and since then I've just been a freelance musician. Play guitar and bass and harmonica and saxophone with just various bands, different styles, from jazz, blues, country, rock, funk, whatever came my way. Just had to, learn it as I go here in Austin. I think everyone has to do that here. But anyway,
Yes.
I've been playing in various bands for the last, since '89, and then for about the last 15 or 20 years, I've just been doing a lot of solo guitar work, which is what I do mostly now. I still do have a few private gigs. Not enough, really. I mean, because not anywhere near it was, because obviously in last March everything kind of went dry. But I still had a couple per month that kept me going. I started doing lessons, online, and then I just do some live streaming. I was doing live streaming for tips and stuff, and so that's kind of where I'm sitting right now, is just lessons, live streaming, and a few scattered gigs. Yeah.
Great.
I teach bass too. I mean, I had one bass student a couple months ago, and he got busy, but mostly guitar.
Doug sheds light on how the pandemic has changed the way he works and how we may help.
Um, I'm kind of at a loss because, like I say, most of my gigs are private. I do a lot of corporate events, do a lot of weddings, and if those aren't happening, I'm not working. As far as I do have a few gigs with at venues. I don't do a whole lot, but there's a few that are doing that, like some outside, gigs and stuff. But as far as patrons, I mean, I guess just help support the musicians. A lot of people are doing live streaming, and so your tips and donations really count for this time for musicians.
Austin musicians are now surviving the live music capital of the world with help from Austin Creative Alliance and the City of Austin giving them a financial boost. Austin Creative Alliance CEO John Reedy explains how his organization is helping musicians, creatives, and artists around the capital city $500 at a time.
Your organization does and the programs you run.
Yeah, Austin Creative Alliance. Our mission is to advance, connect, and advocate for arts, culture, and creativity in the Austin, Texas area. What that looks like practically is a variety of programs that support emerging artists and organizations in every discipline of art: visual art, music, performing arts, dance, etc. Specifically, we offer fiscal sponsorship to allow people who are not nonprofits or are individual artists to access grants, including City of Austin cultural funding. We run a program called Black Art Matters ATX, where we commission artists, Black artists, to create new work. We do just general advice and sort of career expansion and guidance for anyone who's a member. We process and do the back office work for a lot of small theater companies. So if they need to hire actors who are union actors, we are able to be paymasters to cover the health insurance. We do cover a lot of we insure a lot of events. We sponsor about 400 arts events a year. So, well, pre-pandemic we did. I'm not sure where that's at now. And we do a variety of career development things. We're working on right now EDI training to come out in March. We hold the annual unified auditions for the theater community, where all the theater producers in town come together in one day. And so every actor who wants to participate can be seen by all the theater companies and producers in town and casting agents, et cetera. And, especially like pandemic times, we try to be flexible and respond to the moment. In this case, we launched an artist emergency fund on March 18th, just a week after the city locked down. And we really, we raised a lot of money right away, and we expected like maybe 60 or 90 days to get people over the hump. And here we are, almost $200,000 raised in almost a year, and we're still handing out small grants, just really to artists, to working artists who are facing immediate housing and food insecurity. It's only $500, but it's enough generally to keep people in their homes and fed when they are really at wit's end and kind of at the not doing great. It's been a difficult year, as we all know, and in particular, looking at these applications from these artists and seeing just the kind of deep financial insecurity that's afflicted the creative community in Austin. So we're trying to meet that moment as well as doing the things we've been doing for over 40 years.
It's hard to say how Austin's live music scene will recover after so much economic hardship due to the pandemic. One fact is certain. The Austin, Texas economic climate is dependent on the support of our community organizations and patrons to band together in this time of great need.